Yes, I just shaved off all my beard and I very much regret it, but that's not what this video is about. This video is about some underrated tips in Tarkov for you guys. There's a lot of videos out there that are about sexy tips and tricks. Don't get me wrong. They're all great, but I feel like there's a lot of underrated tips that people don't talk about that fly under the radar. And in today's video, I just want to bring them up and make sure that you at least know about them. So we're going to try and make this quick and easy like every other video. So let's get going. So I already made this tip into a TikTok short and people kind of loved it and some people hated it. And the people that hated it, I found had the one common complaint, and I will tell you about it at the end of this little section and I will prove it so wrong so that you guys don't have to worry about that. But I want to talk to you today about the money case. This is the first tip I want to talk about. So the money case is from therapist level 4 and it is 400,000 rubles at the time of this video to grab. And I wouldn't say that that's too much money. I'm not going to say like that's a crap ton and it's out of reach of everyone. What I would say is out of reach is being level 35 to get to therapist level 4. Yes, you eventually will get there, but you know, it'll take some time for the average player to get to level 35. It takes time. And you have all these piles of cash lying around. So I want to talk to you about using an alternative to the money case. So what I did before I got my money case, of course, was I got my Thunderbolt, which is, by the way, unreal. 21,000 for a 3x3 rig. It has 16 slots in it. It's fantastic. It's super cheap. So what I did before was I filled them up with wallets. And then what I did was I just threw money into the wallets and it was a cheaper money case. Yes, it's a little bit bigger than the money case. And if you want, you can use the CSA, you can use the bank robber, but this is an alternative. And I'm going to show you some numbers on why you might just want to use it going forward. So we're going to compare the money case, the capacity of them, the cost of them compared to the Thunderbolt with the wallets. Now the capacity of the money case is 49 slots. So it's a 7x7 that can carry Bitcoins, GP coins, and every currency in the game. Whereas the Thunderbolt and the wallets, if you grab 12 wallets and put it in the Thunderbolt, you can get 48. It can't hold your GP coins or your Bitcoins, which I don't think is a huge issue, but if it is, hey, the money case is for you. But it can hold 48, let's say. Now the cost of the money case right now, like I said, is 400,000 rubles. If you do this alternative with a Thunderbolt and wallet, it's actually a lot cheaper. It's 260,000 rubles. But because we're not using the full capacity of the Thunderbolt, we can actually do more than that. So with this, diagram that I'm showing you, I'm only showing you using 12 wallets, when in reality, the Thunderbolt can hold 16 wallets. So if we do that, the capacity of it actually goes up to 64 and it only costs 340,000 rubles. So not only is it way more than a money case, but it's a lot cheaper too. Now there is an alternative that some people do, and it is by grabbing a bank robber, putting 4 docs cases in here, and then you have 64 slots in the same size as a money case would be, and you can put a lot more items in the docs cases, so a lot more unique things in there. But again, it's all up to you. It depends on if you're flush with cash. If you're flush on cash and you want to min-max your inventory, this is definitely the way to do it. But again, the docs cases are just under, I would say, probably 250 right now. So it is going to run you about 1,000,000 rubles to get this bank robber set up, where the Thunderbolt is a lot cheaper, but you can't put your Bitcoins, your GP coins, your Veritas guitar picks, stuff like that in there. But it all depends on how you want to do it. But I do want to show you an alternative to it. Now, the number one complaint I got in the video that I made for TikTok when I showed this off was, oh, great. Now I have to open up the Thunderbolt and then open up a wallet and see what has room in it. So what they're saying is you have to open it up and see, okay, there's a stack here. I can drag it to here, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense. Like, you have to open up every single wallet and see if you have room to put the money in there, because if there is room for it, it'll auto stack. So all you have to do, yes, you have to do one more click. So you do have to open the Thunderbolt compared to the money case where you can just drag it and drop it. With the Thunderbolt, you do have to open it up actually. And then as long as it has room to stack the money, the wallet will be green, right? So as you can see, there's stacks of rubles in here, but they're not full. So we can just put them over here. Like, I didn't get that complaint. So maybe I'm missing something, but I get that there's one extra step that you have to open the Thunderbolt itself, but I don't think it's too much work. Maybe that's just me though.
So my voice has kind of changed. I got a new mixer, a new sound profile. So just let you know, going forward in this video, I am using the new sound settings. So my voice has changed from what the intro was. Let me know if you hate it, if you love it, put it in the comments below. It'd really mean a lot to me, but let's keep going with this video. When I originally did the tip, I used this tactical handguard right here, but in the comments, people were saying, Geeks, there's a way better one. You gotta check it out. And I did, and it is way better. And I'll show you why. So the X47, so the AK-TDI X47 tactical handguard, this is what you're gonna wanna pick up. And then you also do want to have this AKM gas tube. Now, the reason you want the gas tube is so that this becomes a 1x1 instead of a 1x2. Now, the cool thing about this is you can just shove it into your Gamma, your Epsilon. If you have a smaller secure container than that, I'm sure you're probably not going to want to use this tip, but maybe you will. It's up to you. But I'm just wanting to give you guys the option. So the cool thing about this system is we're going to put a Valde on there. We're going to put an EOTech on there. We're going to put two X400 tactical devices, and we'll even put a foregrip on there, which is just the Magpul AFG. So as you can tell, or as you can see, sorry, we've got a lot of stuff on this little 1x1 handguard. And the cool thing about it is everything can still fit into your Gamma. So when you find these things in raid, you can just place it on this rail system. And even if you die, guess what? You still come out with a whole bunch of stuff on top, right? So you might have lost your kit, but at least you have a couple of items to kit out your next gun with. Now, the reason this is better than this tactical handguard is because if you put the NC Star on there, which is right here, I'll show you it. It's the NC Star backup mount, which is the canted. You put that on there. Whenever you come across a player with the Delta Point, the Leopold Delta Point reflex sight, it always has the base on it. So you can place it right on the gun also. So now you get 3 sights, 2 tactical devices, and a foregrip, which is pretty nuts. I think that's a really good deal, man. If you're coming out of raid, even if you die with all these slots filled, you're still feeling pretty good. And also, just to let you know, if you want to take the Valde off, you can just replace that with another scope. It's up to you, but sometimes you're finding those Delta Points or the Bravos or whatnot, and you definitely want those instead. And if you do find a Bravo, you can put something on that Bravo itself. So this is a great little tip for only if you probably have a bigger secure container, but I think it's something that not many people talk about, but it's up to you whether or not you want to use it. Now, with this next tip, I know a lot of you guys already know, if you find a big rig, you're probably going to take it, put it in your backpack, and you can fit a lot more items into that rig than it does take up into your backpack slot. But what I find is a lot of people overlook certain rigs because they think they're not worth much or they don't care about them. But I'm telling you right now, the scav vest right here, the security vest are worth picking up. And now they don't hold more than they take up, but they don't take up more than they hold, meaning they can hold 6 slots and they only take up 6 slots, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to throw these 4 things in there. And as you can see, it can just fit right there. So it takes up no less, no more. And yeah, I know what you're saying. Like, well, I'd rather find this LBCR. I agree with you. If you can find this LBCR, take this over the scav vest, 100%. But more times than not, when you're killing scavs, you're coming across these scav vests, these security vests, and you might be thinking, I'm not even going to pick them up. They're not worth it. When in reality, scav vests right now are going from anywhere between 13 to 20,000. I would say the average for them is at least 16,000. And then the security vest is going for what? 26,000 right now. So yes, if you do find a better rig that sells for more, it might take up more slots in your inventory than say just the scav vest. But right now, this is free money that I know a lot of people just leave. But if I were you, I'd pick them up and then dump them when you need to dump them, and just pick them up and grab them, because you know what? If you get out with say 2 or 3 scav vests filled with stuff, that's an extra, you know, roughly 45 to even could be 60,000 rubles. So don't leave that money on the scavs, pick it up and take it for yourself. Okay, let's just take a scenario, for example, here that we just got into a firefight. We're looking and we see that, okay, I need to pack mags right now. So let's just pack some mags. And you can just continuously hear that clicking. Now, what I want to do is I want to get rid of that clicking, because only you can hear yourself pack mags. Your teammates can't hear it. Your enemies can't hear it. The only person that can hear it in game is you. And if you're doing this when you just got into a firefight, you might not be hearing sound cues to hear that if someone's coming up on you, maybe someone is trying to flank, maybe someone's just outside. You might be missing those cues because instead you're hearing this, you know, and you might get confused over one sound or the other. So what I want you to do instead is I want you to go into your settings, go into your sounds, and you're going to take the interface volume and turn it all the way down to 0. Save that. And now whenever you pack a mag, it's pure silence. You're going to hear your surroundings. You're going to hear if someone's coming up on you, or if scav's coming, anything. I just think interface volume at 0 is a godsend. Now, yes, you're gonna miss a lot of those sounds in the game menu and everything like that, but if you don't mind missing those sounds, this is going to be for you for sure. So on the flea market, currency sometimes doesn't make sense, and I need to show you how to change this. So if you don't already know this, I'm about to explain something. So on the flea market, we've got a bunch of things for euros because everyone's trying to sell things to get solar panel up and running. But if you look here, it's saying 31 euros is a better price than 3,200 rubles. Okay, so that must be cheaper than just buying it from Therapist, right? So let's go back and see how much 31 euros cost. It's actually more than what Therapist sells it for. So it's actually 31 euros is actually 3,600 rubles. But that doesn't make sense. It's saying that it's cheaper. Why is that? It's saying that this 32 or 31 was cheaper than this Therapist one. Well, for some reason, euros are just bugged like that. It just shows it cheaper. So I want to show you how to fix this. If you don't want to waste your euros, you're saving them up for solar power, and a lot of people are selling a lot of things for euros right now. What you can do is just go to this cogwheel right here and just go to rubles. I'm sure you just want to buy everything in rubles anyways. You're going to try to find the better deal. And to be honest, it does work like this with American too. So dollars and euros sometimes just doesn't make sense on the flea market. So what you should be doing is just changing it to rubles, because generally that's what you have a lot more of anyways. So don't get burned by these euro trades. Do it this way. Thank you so much just for watching the video. If you like my new sound, let me know in the comments below. If you hate it, hey, let me know in the comments below. But the biggest thing I need to get across to you is subscribing is free for you guys, but it does mean the world to me. We are trying to hit that 100,000 subscriber count this year. So please smash that subscribe button. And until next time, I'll just talk to everyone later.